Hey everyone, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot Monthly Tarot. Before we dive into the tarot though, I wanted to go over the astrology briefly for November 2024 and also want to thank all of you for joining me. If this does end up resonating, please do hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with somebody who needs to hear this message. For November 2024, there's a lot happening astrologically. We're finally going to be entering Pluto and Aquarius, which is very exciting, but remember too, this is a very pivotal transformational period. This transformation for some people might happen overnight on a conscious level, but as far as the 3D level, we'll be going through some transformations for a while. Now, if you want to skip ahead to your tarot reading, I will have that time stamped, but if you want to stick around for a little bit, get a little bit of information, I also highly suggest that you check out astrology.com's calendar for November 2024. Take a look at your chart and see if there's any key highlights, specifically too if you have a planet, let's say you have Mercury in Sagittarius, and we have Mercury entering Sagittarius on November 2nd. I would highlight that and then utilize that energy to the best of your benefit. Since this month is so transformative, we really want to stay grounded. So I'm going to remind everyone, the best thing you can do is constantly do your shadow work, all right? Your inner child wants to feel safe. Okay, and so the best thing you can do is continually do that, utilize that energy, because the more of us who individually do that shadow work, the better off the collective will be. Okay, so let's kick this off, and the full calendar again will be linked in the description of this video. Now, November 1st, we start with the new moon in Scorpio, okay? So this is going to be exciting and scary, okay? Because, it's that idea of knowing that there's change, and change can be exciting, but it can also be scary because we're leaving the comforts of what we know, all right? Even if what we know isn't the best for us, there's still comfort in really expecting what's to come. Now, this new moon is very productive, okay? It'll help us plan for the future. And since it's a new moon and it's regarding transformation, let go of anything from your past identity. And I've already noticed this in the tarot readings that I've done so far. There is so much to embrace with the new, but we gotta let go of the baggage from the past to feel lighter, especially once we get into that air energy of Aquarius and Pluto. Pluto and Aquarius. So let go of your past self, get ready for the new, embrace the possibilities. So this new moon, even with all the chaos in the collective, personally set those intentions for yourself, for the collective, for what you envision the future, all right? And allow it to come to fruition. Now, November 2nd, Mercury enters Sagittarius. I love this because that energy is really bringing truth and honesty, okay? And so here's where this truth and honesty too, it's going to be for the rest of the year, where it's like, I want the truth, all right? You're going to want the truth. We have a lot of misinformation. We have a lot of energy of deceit that has been around. And this is a great time also for making travel plans, okay? So if you also want to explore learning more, if you've ever wanted to go back to school, now is the time to do it. And getting a better understanding of the world, okay, and the collective. And this will be great going into Pluto and Aquarius, connecting us all in the global community. So the more you can do to understand people who are outside of your, personal bubble of understanding, the better you will be in preparation for the insights that are coming to all of us, okay? But travel plans, get excited. You just had that new moon, so you actually might want to incorporate some travel plans in that new moon in Scorpio. Where have you always wanted to travel? Exploring and expanding your knowledge, okay? Now, November 3rd, we have Mars entering Leo. All right. Now, with this, we are going to feel more passionate about life, okay? However, don't forget, along with the heat, that Leo can bring the drama. So going back to your shadow work, the more that you can make that ego energy less confrontational, I guess, is really what I would say, the better off you'll be. I mean, sometimes we do have to allow that confrontation to come. It's just make sure that you're choosing your battles wisely, all right? Because the Mars and Leo, we're going to want to assert ourselves to defend our ego. And sometimes we don't necessarily need to get into the muck, all right? Now, remember, a lot of chaos. There's going to be so much baiting and trolling to get you to attach your energy to low vibe energies, all right? So rise above and focus on the future ahead. Focus on your new moon and Scorpio intentions, okay? And allow that flair for drama to allow you to shine, not to get in the depths of the muck. Now, November 11th, 11/11, I love this, Venus enters Capricorn. So this is where we're going to really get more serious and practical, okay? This is the energy of slow and steady wins the race. Now remember, Venus isn't only love, it's your finances and your health, okay? So when it comes to business relationships, your reputation, thinking practically about all of these areas of your life of relationships, health, wellness, finances. You're going to be feeling more practical, and you're also going to learn to align with people that make your life better. Okay, so this is where we really are going to start seeing the people who are putting in the work. All right, so if you are in a situation where maybe you feel like you're carrying more of a weight, you're going to start noticing the people around you who are doing just as much as you, and you're going to start gravitating towards those people. Okay, but this is the best time to get serious with everything. So we're wrapping up the year, we're tying up loose ends. And so if there's anything related to loose ends with your finances, with any business relationships, that's really something that will encourage us to tackle. Okay, now November 11th, I'm sorry, not November 11th, November 12th, Saturn goes direct in Pisces. Now, this is exciting because remember, we had Saturn going direct in November 2023 at the beginning of November. And now we have a full circle, okay, of a year. Now, Saturn has gone direct and retrograde in that time a couple times, but we get to go and reflect back on the last year. What challenges have you faced? How have you built your strength and resilience? These are questions we want to ask because we want to be our own cheerleader, okay? Especially leading up to the full moon and after this. So it's time to drop back into reality. So it's so nice that the day before we have Venus entering Capricorn, which is already energetically encouraging us to really get serious about what it is we want to nurture, okay? So when we get back into the reality, Saturn's pulling the reins back, all right, until the end of the year. Now, this is where we can use the lessons we've learned to build solid foundations. Okay, and emotional boundaries. That's important. Now remember, because Pisces, that's a big lesson with Pisces in general, is emotional boundaries. So this is setting us up for 2025. Now here's the big thing, because solid foundations, so important. If there's cracks in your foundation, we want to nip that in the bud right now, all right? And so here's where we need to ask ourselves, of all the areas I've grown, of all the areas where I've stepped out of my comfort zone, where am I still holding myself back? Because that's what we are going to want to accept the challenge of into the new year, all right? Utilize November and December to really flush out anything that is still left over from past identities, past chapters, okay? Now, November 15th, full moon in Taurus. So this is so lovely because Taurus rules Venus, right? And on November 11th, we have Venus going into a fellow Earth sign, Capricorn, a very practical energy. Now, this full moon in Taurus is going to be very grounding, okay? It's a very sensual full moon, actually. So it's really where this is the fork in the road, okay? Where we have to ask ourselves, what are our values, all right? If your values change, that is part of evolving. That is part of this higher consciousness. So this is a good time to really go over everything related to value and what you value, and also your valuables, okay? Because Venus, again, also rules finances, and Taurus is the ruler of Venus. So we really want to ask ourselves, like, perhaps there's things that you valued before, like material things that you don't value as much. Let's say that you always valued, buying really nice clothes. We're in Sagittarius season. You're thinking, you know what? That money that I've been using to buy clothes that I'm not wearing, I could put in a savings account to take that dream trip that I've always wanted to take. All right, that's the kind of like reassessing values here with this full moon. Really asking yourselves, where am I putting this money? And am I getting the satisfaction I used to get out of what I'm doing with my money? Okay, and again, like also putting out the energy of love. Please, 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 collective love. We need it so much. Now, the big one, November 19th, Pluto enters Aquarius. Okay, now Pluto is finally going to be here for the next 2 decades. So this really truly is the dawning of a new age. We have to remember that. Now it's the dawning of a new age, okay? And so while some of us might like consciously be already there and jumping in there, we really need to remind ourselves that this is going to take work, and Pluto's about power, okay? Personal power. Now we have Saturn direct, which is actually a positive thing because we're able to put that discipline and rising the challenge, the resilience into this new age of rethinking power, all right? Re-identifying what power is to us personally and power in the collective and how we want to see power play out in the collective. Okay, so we have to get ready though for what this brings, okay? It does bring the falling of empires, rebellion, but a new vision for the world. And so that's what you need to hold on to, is understand the process, send out love, and really believe in the dawning of a new age, okay? Now, November 21st, Sun enters Sagittarius, okay? So over the next 4 weeks, this is going to be really fiery, but really positive fiery energy, all right? This is where we are going to feel this sense of generosity and daring, taking risks, all right, filled with this feeling of freedom. And we want to race to that new horizon of this new worldview. So we're really going to be pushed and amped to push forward Pluto and Aquarius energy, all right? So channel that energy to the best of your abilities. And remember, we also have Mars in Leo. So remember not to only do it for your own personal ego, but what you truly think is the vision for the future for all of us, not just yourself, but for all of us, okay? Really putting your passion into what is best for the collective and allowing your ego to shine in a manner that isn't just self-serving, all right? But this is going to be so exciting. This is bold energy. Put yourself out there, okay? Really do the things that you've always been scared to do. Because remember, we also had all of that Scorpio energy. So we're shedding, prior to this, we're shedding all of the things that have been holding us back. Now, November 30th. Oh, and right after that, we do have a Mercury retrograde, but it's really more about travel. So just pay attention to your travel plans during Mercury retrograde, okay? But Mercury retrogrades aren't always this doom and gloom. Okay, now November 30th, a new moon in Sagittarius. So we have 2 new moons in this month, okay? So this is a power-packed month. And remember, I'm only doing just the highlights. Go to astrology.com. There is a lot more details. Highlight these dates. Write a little note in your calendar, for setting intentions, for making daring moves, for doing everything, all right? Now, new moon, November 30th, new moon in Sagittarius. This is where we want to spend the last days of November breaking out of our comfort zone and expanding our horizons, okay? This is a good time to take a holiday trip. Again, going back to that Sagittarius energy of learning, expanding our horizons, traveling. Like, this is where we want to get excited, okay? So we're putting all that energy together, and now's the time to actually take these plans and be like, I am going to come and make them into my reality. All right. So it's a very exciting month ahead. I hope you all are excited. Remember, stay, as Pam Gregory says, stay on your eagle's perch. Stay focused on the future. Align with your values. Align with the people who also align with your values for the greater good of the collective. Okay. And now enjoy your tarot reading. All right, Scorpios, let's get into this tarot reading. And while I was clearing your cards, very powerful energy. Obviously, there's so much Scorpio energy happening, and you can really utilize the power within you of the death, birth, transformation. I got this visual of a dragon with fire just burning all that negative low vibe energy. I just want you to be mindful of how you assert yourself. There's this energy of really tuning in and focusing on how you can just, with your thoughts, with your emotions, clear energy, all right? Not necessarily person to person combative energy, but more of being up as the observer and the dragon and really just like blowing that air out, okay? And so maybe, channeling that into burning that energy, okay? And so like, let's say you're exercising and channeling, like what I'm releasing from the collective, something along those lines of really just making sure that you realize the power that you have. Because seeing the Queen of Swords here and then like the King of Cups popping out there, we can say a lot more with, we can say more with saying less, okay? You have such power with your emotions. And that's where it's like, I don't want you to get into the muck so much as just working on putting out more of the energy of what we want more of, okay? And focusing less on what we don't want in our lives, because that was it was a very clear message of choosing how you assert yourself, purging anything related to feeling like you need to you need to put somebody in their place. Like, this is interesting. This was actually in a Pisces reading that I was watching recently, from 13 Moons Tarot. Love their channel. But it was a message of, you don't need to bother. Like, the universe is taking care of it. And that's really like what you need to worry about, is just channeling your energy for the future, for the higher collective, for what, you know, again, the values, what you value. There's something here to, this is you, Scorpio, all right? Focusing on putting your energy into what you're aligned with, what is your creative, passionate, fiery energy. Don't focus on that low vibe energy that's leaving. It's leaving, okay? It's really about having faith of that and just making sure you're aligned with your values, all right? When people see that emotional evolution you've gone through, people are going to start turning heads. They're going to see, all right? Just do as you say, and the rest will come your way, all right? Okay, so let's see what we got going on for November for you. Oh, and victim mentality. Okay, there was a strong attachment to, Pam Gregory has been talking about this a lot, and making sure that we see ourselves as, we don't see ourselves in victim mentality of we can't do what needs to be done, okay? Wow, Pluto. Yeah, look at this. 5 of Cups again. There's something here to making sure that we recognize Pluto is changing this, okay? That this is part of Aquarius, is all of this concept of power and where we align with power and what is power, all right? You are powerful. That's another thing Pam Gregory always talks about, the power of water. We're going to see an increase both, you know, on the 3D in nature, the power of water, but also the water signs. So remember, you have so much power in your energy, and people are going to start noticing it more. Oh, that's amazing. Look at that. Okay. Wow, okay. All right, so overall energy, Page of Cups, focusing inward, all right, as much as you can. Like I said, this is where we're staying off social media, but we're still sending out energy to the collective, all right? We're accepting the process is happening. Water, we absorb other people's energy. So it's really important that you are focusing as much as you can on your cup, keeping the water clean, if you will. You know, making sure that you have practices in place where you can cleanse yourself of other people's energy at the end of the day. Set yourself right at the beginning of the day, self-care, right? This is just making sure that you are spending time with what you value, and your emotional well-being, you do value, okay? It is very valuable to you, and this cup is very precious. So if we're holding this cup with confidence, not out of fear, okay? I'm going back to seeing that 5 of Cups. There could be this fear of this cup breaking because other cups did, all right? But this is ground one. This is we're back at the foundation, all right? You are back to laying down your foundation. And so we can't focus on fear. We focus on, okay, are there any cracks still in this foundation before I start building again? Now, what you need more of, the 4 of Wands. We need more of that faith, okay? We need more of aligning. This is going back to what the astrology is saying, aligning with people who share our same values, okay? You need to focus more on this Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius, and less on the Pluto and Capricorn, okay? Because remember, like, Pluto is so slow moving. We're going to be feeling like this in between, if you will. But the more you can just focus on aligning with those people, celebrating those relationships, really recognizing how far you've come, that's going to really open it up. And passionately align yourself with this. So let's say you're a creative, and like you can obviously channel a lot of this low energy of the destruction, the chaos, you know, like the low depths, because you go to the depths. But you want to focus on that Aquarian age, okay? What you have the right amount of. I love this so much. The Death card, okay? And what did we see earlier? We saw that Knight of Wands, which is you, Scorpio. Death is ruled by Scorpio. You do see what's blossoming, all right? It's just being mindful of not getting sucked into you know, staying on your eagle's perch, as Pam says, okay? You have all of the energy is telling you what to let go of. And again, this is related to your beliefs, your routines. Like everything is really telling you what we need to reassess and drop. And you have everything at your disposal to do that, okay? You want to be the champion of the new age. With Death card too, like in other decks, you know, it shows death coming in on a horse, and like some people are scared, but then some people are excited. And so you can think of yourself like, people see Scorpios that, yes, you know, like this dark, mysterious energy, but it's like you just understand that part, right? And there's nothing scary about it. And so this is where it's like you see your dark energy as something of light, okay? What you need less of, the world, okay? So the world is telling me, so this is like success, completion, a karmic completion, you know, liberating ourselves. This is saying that we still have some work to do with a Saturn lesson. And so what did I say about like the cracks? Like there's just, this is a major energy, but it's something where I think the work to be done is as easy as like a little bit of shadow work every day, okay? Just being mindful that we're never completely finished with something, all right? Saturn's with you the rest of your life. It just, you know, the lessons come in different ways. Just don't have an arrogance of being above everybody else, right? Like that's just the energy. It's like, yes, you do see all that, but it doesn't mean that you're separate from it, I guess, okay? And what you can change, the Eight of Cups, all right? What you can really change, now remember, Saturn is going direct in Pisces, okay? So you can change the way you're seeing these lessons, all right? The emotional evolution that has come from whatever lessons you have learned is big, okay? And so I do think when Saturn goes direct, because it's going to go direct back in our face again, we're going to really contemplate like, how can I see the positive aspect of this? How can I see how this shift was necessary because I answered the wake-up call? Okay, you can really change the way you're seeing this Eight of Cups energy and your Saturn lesson. Now, what you need to accept, the Six of Wands, it does take moving away from something, all right? It does take really rethinking how we see something, all right? Taking control of our destiny. Remember, because like you are in the driver's seat right now, but this is, like I said, this is ground zero when it comes to being in the driver's seat. And so that the more you do that shadow work, I'm telling you, but this is Mercury in Aquarius, all right? You can choose to believe in this new age. You can choose to speak and think in Aquarian thinking is really how I'm seeing this. Now, the end of the month, 10 of Wands, those Saturn lessons. So Saturn and Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius season, all that Sagittarius energy, Sagittarius season, Sagittarius new moon, Mercury and Sagittarius, like there's a lot of Sagittarius energy here. All right, fresh start is coming, but it takes shifting your perspective. See how strong you are on the other side of this energy, but don't see it as this energy of, you want to recognize and give people grace, I guess, when it comes to lessons that other people are learning, because you do have a lot of Saturn energy here. This is ruled by Saturn, Saturn in Pisces, Saturn in Sagittarius. And so just remember, you're not above the lessons. Like we all learn our resilience in different ways. But if this has been a struggle, we just need to change our perspective and realize it's taking us to this Page of Cups, honestly. Okay, so I want to see what past life energy is connected to your Saturn, because that will help you with what you are reflecting on this month. All right. Love life. All right. So, I mean, and this is relationships, okay? And so we really do need to understand if this is a breakup or something. I'm really getting breakup. All right. So, it doesn't have to be a recent breakup, okay? This could be a breakup from a while ago, and we might not even realize that we're still connected to that. So this card comes to you as an indication that your love life is affected by one or more previous lifetimes. Most likely you had a painful experience back then that has caused you to be overly cautious in such cases. Working on yourself can help you reopen your beautiful, loving heart. And that way you can love and be loved again. So what did I say about being cautious? Like you're scared of this cup being broken because of the other cups that have been broken in the past. But that is where this is your cup. Nobody can break it but you, okay? All right, so it's also likely that this card comes to you as validation that the man or woman you're romantically interested in was also a prominent person in your past life. This individual may not have been a romantic partner at that time, but your inclination to connect romantically in this lifetime is definitely part of a greater plan. And so the lesson to learn is the heart teaches the mind. You know, sometimes, oh, actually, this is interesting. Beethoven, there was a quote from Beethoven talking about how the people who hurt the most, like, have the most joy or something like that. But there's this idea of like how seeing how the hurt can actually help us in our journey, okay? And that can be hard, especially if this is something more recent. But if this is something from the past, it's just really rethinking what the lesson was, okay? We might have a different idea of what that lesson is, and that lesson is outside of ourselves. But like I said, there's something here to really understanding the lesson from within us. So let's see what archetypal energy this is connected to. Whoa. Okay. Now, this can be you or somebody else in your life. We all play characters in each other's lives. The most important part is for you to be the hero of your own journey. Child, the eternal child, light attributes, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Shadow attribute, inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security, okay? Empowering question for you related to that energy. I love this. This is amazing because of all of this energy of getting back to you. Who am I? Who are you? Okay, like I said, this is the perfect month for a question like that. We're all reassessing our values, what we value in ourselves, what we value in others, what we value in relation to our valuables. Okay, so like there's a lot related to that and getting back to the core of who you are. Another wonderful thing to look at would be your North Node, okay? Because your North Node is your future, okay? All right, so dragon energy, utilize this month. Sunshine Yellow Dragon helps you help animals, serve animals, heal, respect, and understand them. Earth and Air Dragon represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Stay balanced, ground your visions, and manifest your hopes and dreams. This is really about manifesting your hopes and dreams, okay? An Air Dragon helps you rise above earthly matters, communicate honestly, bring inspiration and hope. See life from a higher perspective, okay? A lot of purging going on this month, Scorpio. It's not going to lie. I feel like there's a lot. And so, like I said, accept the challenge for yourself, okay? Not just hoping that the transformation... oh, I didn't even see these. Okay. We're not going to... I didn't see those. We're just going to leave them. Okay, hold on. What crystal energy can Scorpios utilize for November? Ooh, turquoise. Spirit of the earth. I love this. So like I said, channel all of your power into that transformational energy for yourself and for the collective, okay? So we're going to do a clarifier for the end of the month. This 10 of Wands. I'm excited to see, but I do think it's leading you to this 10 of Cups, okay? So just remember that once we learn the lesson, this is actually interesting too with Saturn. I just want to say quickly. So we have our Saturn return, right? Every, like, I think it's 27 to 30 years. And with each lesson, when we accept and we continue to build our strength, those lessons aren't as harsh, okay? So depending on where you are right now, the lessons, I don't want to say like this, they get easier in the sense of you know what to expect, you know what choices to make when you finally do accept that, okay? That transformation is big. And again, that transformation for you is related to power. It's related to how you wield your own personal power, that sword, okay? You can cut through somebody, right? Like you can cut through somebody with your communication because you know how to get to them, to the triggers of their emotions. So remember, with great power comes great responsibility, okay? Yeah, we don't want to be that low vibe energy. We can be petty, right? Scorpio, you can be petty. You can really cut somebody with a knife, but that's not how we want to wield that power. And I think that is related to this Saturn lesson. So thank you so much for joining me, Scorpios. Again, please hit that like button, subscribe, comment if it resonates, share it with somebody who needs to hear that message. And as always, shine your inner light. You've got this.